Juri Solojov from Red Hat, and he's going to talk about how to make your first contribution to an open source project.
Yeah, thank you. So hello everyone, and my name is Juri, and today we're going to talk about how to start contributing and still have fun. And before we start, just a few words about me. So I'm working as software quality engineer at Red Hat and based in Brno, Czech Republic, and working such projects like Hauta, Camel, Spring Boot, Quarkus, Camel K, and also passionate about side projects like IT Camp, Summer Camp Brno, and also leading some test seminars at university in Brno. And today we're going to talk about what we know about open source. I know that most of you are familiar with it, but still, just a few words. Then best practices for new contributors, then common mistakes to avoid, and positive actions for community leaders, how to be more friendly to newcomers, and just last things, essential tips. So, what we know about open source? So, if we Google it, internet will say that it's freedom to run, copy, distribute, study, change, and improve the software. That's true, absolutely true. And if we ask questions like, what do we mean by open source? Like, what first comes to mind? Of course, yes, it's transparency. If the code is visible, the workflow is visible, you can see what issues, what action items taken there, what happens there. And of course, it's about community, about collaboration, working together, people with different backgrounds, coming together and creating something nice. Yeah, that's true. And unfortunately, there is another question. Is everything so bright and shiny? And the answer is there are several buts. First of all, it's distance. Most engineers have never ever met each other because they live far away from each other. It's expensive or quite tricky to travel. And one of my colleagues told me that most junior conferences already gone, but luckily SFS Conf is still here. Nowadays, most conferences are focusing on only trending topics like AI right now or blockchains in the past, so most engineers can't even attend conferences. So another thing is disruptions, and by this I mean in communities. Some communities are competitive, but in a bad way, I would say. They're attacking your technology, and instead of helping, improving, providing valuable feedback, they're trying to discourage you. And it leads to toxicity. Toxic communities, toxic people, toxic engineers. It's not so common, but it happens. And it leads to next slides, like how to start contributing and have best practices. And I divided next slides into 4 different scenarios, most common for newcomers. And first one is, of course, if you're not sure how to start, where to start. First of all, pursue your passions. Look for projects or tools and topics you actively use and enjoy. For instance, you create your smart home. You just developed some nice hardware, you found nice project software, but you found out it doesn't support a version of your hardware, or it's missing some feature, or I don't know, something else. Just, it's your chance, show up, step in, try to bring new feature to support, so show up your skills and things. And it leads to tackle meaningful challenges. Again, focus on solving issues that resonate with you. Again, if you see something working slow or missing support, just do it. Like, don't be afraid. And of course, aim for growth and pride. If you think that some projects are big and complex, but still you want to be part of this, just even though it's a really small contribution, I would say each contribution matters. So just step in, did something, and then you can be proud, like, yeah, I'm part of this. That's really awesome. Another scenario is before joining project community. Imagine you found a project, but before, make sure you check the behavior and culture of the community, how they work, how they communicate with each other, if they provide nice feedback, if they motivate you, encourage instead of discourage. So check how they are good. If they are quite toxic, unhealthy, and you're alone here, so my suggestion is just avoid it. You can't fight it. Just find another project, another people, or start a new project from the scratch, find people and build it together. Next case is if you want a great project, but community is passive or inactive. There are still several things what you can do. So take initiative, start, encourage people, saying to them, hey, your software is really nice, it's needed, it's still needed by users, it's used, so try to motivate people and start contributing actively. So you show, hey, I'm here, so let's do it together. And another thing is identify motivations. Why the project is abandoned, what reasons, what can you improve, what you can fix. But if nothing helps, so consider it and start the project from the scratch, or just fork it, find people who will support you and will work with you together. It's still possible. And yeah, if you decide to start new projects, it's better to start and make it open from the beginning. In this case, you will bring people from the beginning with different backgrounds, feedback, so you will improve your quality of the project, so bring innovations. So it's really nice to have it open from the beginning. Otherwise, if you will open it just later, so people will spend some time on your code to understand how it works, what's there, and some people just skip it. So, and now let's talk about common mistakes to avoid as new contributors. There are several topics. First one is documentation. There are many communities, and they have own set of rules and guidelines, how to work, how to contribute, what to do. So if you will skip guidelines and not check frequently asked questions, so it's quite a headache for community leaders because you need to follow such instructions. Then another topic is issues and pull requests. So first of all, make sure you don't mess up the things all together in one issue or in one pull request. Just filter, sort it, one issue per one pull request, so just keep it clear. Another thing is, if you're about to create pull request or issue, just double check if it already exists, it was resolved or closed, rejected, whatever. Just make sure, so otherwise I would say that no one likes duplications. And of course, ignoring templates. Usually each community has a template how to create issue or pull requests. So basically it's like title, description, labels, and so on. If you will ignore it, like people will be unhappy, to be honest. They will help you, they will tell you how to fix it next time, but still better to avoid it from the beginning. And tests. It's another painful thing because most people just ignore the tests, even unit tests. So once you create a new feature, make sure you're covered by tests. And another painful thing from my experience, most people when creating a pull request, they just ignore test results like some GitHub checks and so on. Make sure you check it and you fix it, and then you create pull requests and ask for review. And last thing is communication. So again, feedback should be provided. You have to evaluate feedback and make sure that you start working with some approval, because if the workflows or in backlog, it says that this issue should be fixed in the next release, not now, and we started working on this, so we can just mess up the things, because usually communities have own backlog and the release when should be issues implemented. And another thing is really important, if you will ignore making friends, because community is not only that engineers working on something together and that's it, it's still about people, that people support each other in any way, so it's like friends, let's say, helping each other in any way, meeting together in person. So for instance, last week in Czech Republic, the whole our community team from Japan, US, UK came to our city, so it was really nice to see people in person and talk, have small talks and so on. That's really nice, so don't ignore it. And positive actions for community leaders. What can be done? So if you are part of community, so make sure if you want to be friendly to newcomers, make sure you have some labels like beginner, easy, good for beginners, and so on. So delegate people where they can start, practice, and so on. And then make sure your contribution guidelines and FAQ is clear and up to date. offer assistance like some peers for newcomers, helping, providing feedback, so basically navigating. And of course, provide feedback which will only motivate people. Otherwise, people will just leave the project and never touch it again, so we don't want it. And of course, be patient, because everyone makes mistakes and we all learn from each other. Okay, and essential tips. So instead of summary, I wanted to share tips with you. Of course, embrace continuous improvement. So seek opportunities to enhance your code, community, yourself. So always grow, always try something new, learn. And also balance humility and confidence. So be assertive, sharing ideas, but still be ready to get feedback and have possibility that you are wrong and have a chance to accept it and improve. And of course, the most important is well-being. So take care of your personal life, your health, your family. It's the most important. If you burn out, you won't produce any valuable code. So take care. And last slide is one of my friend, colleague, and excellent engineer just told me that don't be afraid to contribute, to suggest ideas and to make mistakes. We all have been there. So, and that's it. So thank you so much.